Hi guys, welcome back to the Beautiful Brains. This is Kate and MJ, and here at the Beautiful Brains, we inspire children who are living with special needs to live their lives limitlessly. So today we're actually chillaxing outside. The weather is really nice. So we decided, you know what, let's just sit out here. The kids are in school and let's make a video.
Yes. It's nice. The weather is good. Summer is summering. And again, thank you very much for the support that you have given us. Talking of the support, we have started a WhatsApp group. And this is a community of parents, carers, educators, or educationists and professionals who are supporting kids with special needs.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to join us in that WhatsApp group, see the link below. Also, if you know someone who falls in the category of a parent, a carer, educator, any professional supporting kids with special needs, please share the link with them.
Yeah, I've even been asked by some curious parents, I don't have any kids. Can I join the group? It's actually a nice group to join, whether you have kids or not, just for, knowledge purposes as well and awareness, So today we have some really amazing, lovely topic lined up for you. And this topic is one thing I think most of us parents, whether you have a child who has special needs or not, we struggle with. So today we are going to talk about how do we potty train our kids? How did we manage to potty train Jaden and Justin? Like this thing, it's so stressful, mostly for parents who their children are coming like of age to go to school, because actually there are some schools which don't take kids who are not potty trained.
Yeah.
So it's a nightmare for parents, and parents always feel like they have to rush potty train their kids before they get to school. So guys, today we'll try and run you guys through some little hacks and steps that we took to help our boys be potty trained and ready for school.
Yeah, and I think you are right. A lot of parents, they do struggle teaching their kids, especially kids with autism.
Yeah.
And this is because when they are on the spectrum, they have varied ways of learning, and for each kid it is very unique. So you cannot lift an idea there and probably use it on your child. You have to really be child-centered and customize it. Again, some of these things which require routine, sometimes it is very difficult because they can learn something today, tomorrow they forget, or it is not interesting and they will not follow it. So you'll find that the little things that we other people, we find them interesting, like, putting clothes on, or going to the kitchen and making breakfast, or putting your shoes on, potty training. They are actually very difficult for them at the start. So they need a lot of understanding, and they need also a lot of training. So probably it's good if you walk us through the steps that you helped Jaden and Justin to potty train and be ready to carry out that social and behavioral aspect of using the toilet.
First thing I'm going to say is there is no particular age that you need to, start potty training your kids, because I've had so much. Like there's this video I was watching online the other day, and this mom was saying she's potty training her 6-month-old baby.
Oh.
Yeah. And she was just explaining what she does, how it works for them. There is no age. It's when, I normally say mostly when the parent is mentally prepared for the challenge, because it is a challenge. But then in some cases, you actually find the child is ready to be potty trained. And I know someone might ask, how do you know when the child is ready? You actually know by, a few things. Like sometimes you'll put the diaper on the child and they will take it off. They just don't want
it. Becomes very
it becomes a nuisance to them. So they just don't want anything to do with diapers. Or sometimes you'll even see them, they are trying to sit on the toilet and we'll be there chasing them away, move, what are you doing? It's dirty and all that stuff.
So they learn also a lot by observing. So if they have seen you use the toilet, they might try to do it the same.
You know what's happening there. So those are some of the things which might make you know your child is ready. And sometimes it's not about the child being ready. It's tough economic times. Diapers are not the cheapest thing at the moment. So sometimes it's also, just to save a few pennies, it's so much easier to potty train.
And generally, as we humans know, it is a good behavior.
Exactly. And let me tell you, how cool is it, when your child can use the toilet and you just don't have to worry so much. Has he gone poo-poo on himself? Has he gone pee-pee on himself?
Yeah.
It's just so amazing.
Just good. So
Yeah.
how did you go about it?
So I'm just going to say it wasn't easy.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden was hard work.
Never easy. Nothing is easy.
Jaden was my hardest, of course, being the first child. Yeah. There's that overlap.
Yeah.
But with Jaden, let me say, there were no signs he was ever ready. So it was up to me as mom
to prompt him.
Yeah, and to just say, you know what, enough is enough. We need to try and potty train you. So we did try to potty train him together with the nursery.
At what age was this?
This was around 3 years.
Okay.
It didn't work out. So we went back to the diapers. Of course, diapers are like easy alternatives for us parents and the nursery. And mind you, that time we really didn't know he was autistic properly. We hadn't had a diagnosis. There were suspicions, but we hadn't had a diagnosis. So we completely gave up.
Yeah.
So later on, we moved later that year and he had a diagnosis. And by this time, he was 4 years old. He was still in nappies, but I had to potty train him because he was starting school at 5 years. And he was going to a mainstream school first because there was a bit of a delay in creating his EHCP. EHCP are like educational care plans for children with special needs here in the UK. So there was a delay, so he had to go first to mainstream before he went to a special school. But then the mainstream he went to, they don't take kids who are not
potty trained.
So I had to work very hard that year. So with Jaden, it wasn't easy. I tried everything in the books. I bought books about potty training. But then the people don't tell you these books, even if you buy them, it doesn't mean it will work for your child.
Like I said, with these kids, it's actually being very, very child-centered and lifting solutions there to work with them. First of all, you don't know whether that is their way of doing things.
Yeah.
So you start actually by observing them and understanding what can work for my child.
Yeah. So Jaden didn't seem bothered about nappies. He was happy and comfortable. If anything, it saved him a lot of time to have to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what? I just woke up one day and I was like, from today onwards, we won't wear nappies during the day.
All right.
Because one thing I noticed with Jaden, those who have watched our story before, they know the amount of observations I did with Jaden. Yeah, so one thing I noticed with Jaden, he didn't like the water sensation when someone pours water on you.
Yeah.
He didn't like that sensation of wet clothes on him. So I was like, okay, he doesn't like this. So no diapers during the day. If he pees himself, eventually he'll know he doesn't like that feeling. So we completely got rid of diapers during the day. And so me there thinking, I've cracked this boy, I've won. Do you know what he used to do? He wouldn't pee the whole day.
Oh, he would withhold it.
He will just hold it in, even at nursery, because it was a combination like workforce between me and the nursery. I told the nursery, maybe if we get rid of the diapers, it's gonna work. So nursery was fine. This boy would never be in nursery the whole day. He will just hold it, and as soon as I pick him at the door, we haven't even left the nursery grounds. Just by the door, he's outside. We will just release it all.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, even at home it was the same. He will just wait, like I'd put diapers on him around 5 p.m. As soon as the diapers are on, that's it. He would. So I was like, okay, one, that is very dangerous. He can have, UTIs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this thing, it's not working. But then I was like, you know what? For how long is he going to keep up with the holding?
He'll get loose at some point.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm not going to give up or find another solution. We will just continue with the no diapers during the day. Yeah. So luckily school got closed for August holidays, which was very good.
Yeah.
Because at home, I will, nursery, sometimes they feel sorry for him and they would put the diaper back on. For me, there was no mercy. We are learning this thing. So I didn't put no diapers on him. So then finally one day, he actually peed himself.
Yeah.
And I just told him, he was very upset about it. But then I just told him, it's okay. And after that, you could see he was so angry. He was going around the house looking for his nappies.
Yeah.
But then I had hidden them already. So I told him, it's okay. You know, you've peed yourself. You just take it off and then we'll wear another trouser. Mind you, this child is non-verbal, but then I used to talk to him through the whole process of what I'm doing and everything. So we take the trousers off, wear another one. Take the trousers off, wear another one. So I know someone might be like, why didn't we go for a potty or to the toilet at first? And that wasn't the key thing. The key thing was first getting Jaden to know people actually pee. I just wanted to see
the right places.
Yeah, I just wanted to see how much first he understands about what is happening in his body before we moved to
and also building a long-lasting behavior.
Exactly, before we go to the potties and all that stuff. So that's how we did it, let me say, for about 2-3 weeks. I would put trousers on him and he kind of understood. Once he pees on them, he takes them off.
Let me ask a weird question here, because, you know, for most of the kids, when you remove the diaper, you also wanted to introduce what is normally normal for people, that you have the underpants and then the short or the trouser. So how was him with the underpants? You know, with the diaper, even if you go, maybe you pee, the diaper will hold it. But with the underpants or the underwear, it just gets messy. And maybe they would want to revert back to the usage of the diapers.
Yeah, so actually first we didn't go for underpants. I used to put shorts on him without the underpants.
Okay.
It was just, and then these shorts are used were, there were
but you know, in the nursery he won't go, or the school he won't go without. Yeah,
in the school he wouldn't go without. He will just wear the, you know, the baby briefs, you know, those briefs. He will just put that on. And then at Asda, I found this, let me call it potty training. It isn't really a nappy, but it looks like a pad. So it's just a small, like this size box. And you take this part and you stick it to the brief where the pee-pee goes. So when he pee-pees, let me say a good amount will be collected, but then the rest will go on the shorts or whatever he's wearing that day. Actually, it's one of the teachers recommended it to me. It's a really thin one, but then it does the job. The whole idea is him not realizing he's wearing anything that can help him to hold the pee-pee.
So how did he behave when he get the accidents? And also, what was your response
to the
accident?
He would take off the trousers, which was good for me. That's the reaction I wanted. He would take off the trousers, and then because he couldn't find the nappies, you will see him trying to find where I put his spare clothes, and then he will come and throw them.
And considering that most of the parents, they get really frustrated because kids with autism or other special needs, maybe the learning is not like for the other kids, and you may revert to maybe scolding or being, you know, like you're punishing them.
Yeah, and this is why I say even the parent has to be mentally prepared. By the time I'm reaching to that point, I'm like, you know what, I'm happy to change 10 to 15 trousers a day. I am mentally okay with the situation at hand. So for me, I was mentally prepared and I was really ready to handle whatever might come. And it's not just pee-pee, they poo as well, you know. So I was mentally prepared to wiping it off if it's the floor or whatever it's happened. Even the parent needs to be, I think if you are that mentally prepared, you won't really be there scolding the child, telling him off, because you know what you're working towards.
Not just the parent, even the carers at home who are supporting you to raise the kids.
I don't remember any time I was like, oh my, in fact, if I find you've peed on the floor or put, oh my God, I was so happy. I was just like, okay, now he knows people pee, people, you know, do the whole business.
So how did he get them to consistently use the toilet?
So before we got to the toilet, first he knew every time I wet my pants, I could get fresh trousers. So with time, he will just go, after he pees, go get the trousers and bring them to me and we'll change. So then I decided, you know what, he knows people do this, so let me buy a potty. So I went and bought a potty. He hated it. He just hated the whole idea of that thing. Just wouldn't sit on that thing.
It is not the same thing as you use.
No. So I was like, you know what? That's fine. Anyway, he's going to use the toilet eventually. Let's get rid of this potty thing. Let's just go for the toilet. So with the toilet, it's not easy because you don't know when they will pee. But then I had a very smart solution. I just thought, let's say as adults, how many times do you go to the toilet? Maybe every 3 hours. But then kids, they drink a lot. So I was like, maybe 1 hour or 2 hours.
Yeah, between 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah. So I was like, I had all the time in the world. As I tell you guys, I was mentally prepared for this. So I was like, every hour I'll set a time on my phone.
Yeah.
And when the timer goes off, we just go and sit on the toilet. We don't have to use it. If nothing comes out, it's fine. And I won't lie to you, there were days we would sit on the toilet for like 10, 15 minutes. Immediately we stand up, hippies.
Oh.
But hey, it was fine. At least we did it within the proximity of the toilet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even joking. I think for you to get to the end goal, you have to celebrate even these things. He was just happy he's doing it in the toilet somewhere.
Celebrate the milestones.
Yeah, and you know what? When he does it there, it was good. I would tell him, you know what? Now we clean it up together. Here's your tissue. Here's wine. We are both there cleaning. So he will understand, okay, we are cleaning it and we are throwing it in the toilet. So this thing
needs to
has
go
into the toilet. So I won't lie to you. We got the grasp of it within a week. I think it took us about 4 or 5 weeks before he actually did his first pee in the toilet.
Oh.
That time which he did it in the toilet, I was so happy.
So one needs to be very patient here.
Patience. I'm not going to lie to you, it will happen like that. You know, they already have their comfort zones, they already have their, safe space, which is the diaper.
Yeah.
So you're introducing something new, it will take time. Oh my God, I was so happy. And now I was like, okay, you know what, even him, he was happy because he's seeing me, I'm happy. So I was like, let me start a reward system. Every time you pee in the toilet, didn't love the smiley stickers.
Yeah.
You get to choose which smiley sticker you want. And he was like, oh my God, so I can collect all these stickers. He will even just go pee in the toilet and come call me.
Yeah.
So this is what I tell parents, not all kids will go potty, then toilet. I've seen some parents tell me, oh, my child hates the potty. It is fine. They have to use the toilet eventually, so go for the toilet. I've seen places where they sell really nice steps, which the kids can climb on, and then they have the toilet seat protector, which is like a, let me say, like a mini cover of the toilet, so that the child doesn't fall inside, and the child can use that. So you can just go straight for the toilet. There's nowhere written you have to start with the potty, then go to the toilet. Just create your own rules. Let me say that.
But do whatever works for you.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he eventually mastered, I can pee in the toilet, but then he wouldn't go number 2 in the toilet. So we had another challenge. We had one on one hand, we hadn't one on the other hand. So, yeah. So anyway, it took us time because Jaden is so clever. He will go number 2 at night when he has the diaper on. So I had now
the body conditions itself.
So I had now to start even potty training because he will go between like 7 and 9. I will wait. And with poo it's very difficult because you don't know when. But then I read some really nice tips online. And every time I would hear him, releasing gas, I was there speaking very fast to the toilet. Let me tell you, this worked like a gem. This one worked very fast because he had to go. And that was it. As soon as we mastered doing number 2 in the toilet, that was it. Yeah, so anyway, I think Jaden is just one of those kids. Once he knows this is how it's done, he goes with it. So he understood this is how we do it, that is fine. And then you know what I would tell him? When I'm going to the bathroom, I will just let him know. Mommy is going to the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. Then he will know, oh, even mommy goes. So I'm actually doing a good thing, and because mommy is doing it too.
And sometimes he would just say, you know what, I also need to pee.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, come, let's go. We go together talking stories and stuff.
Yeah.
So with Jaden, it was quite a process.
Yeah.
To get him to where we did. But then there is Justin, who is my second one. Jaden and Justin are like twins because they only have a few. It's a year gap.
Yeah,
so Justin, he was my easiest.
Okay.
Justin, he just, and every time JJ would go to the toilet, Justin would follow him because Justin had just learned to, Justin was a late walker. So when he learns how to walk properly, he will just follow Jaden to the toilet, and he will just see how Jaden is doing it. And then Justin just wanted to try, which was good, because Justin, at nursery, they tried to introduce him to potty training, everything. It just didn't work. But then I saw him every time he follows Jaden. Every time he follows Jaden. So I went to nursery and I told them, you know what? When other kids are going, take Justin as well. He doesn't have to go. Let him see other kids go to,
can do it,
and they wash their hands, and they come out and they're happy, and they are not wearing diapers. They are wearing beautiful, colorful, briefs and stuff. You know, Justin loves bright colors, so he will also want
the same.
So with time, one day I just found him in the toilet fighting with his
trousers.
I'm like, Justin, what are you doing? And I was like, okay, seems like he wants to pee, so I just took it off. And me, I don't know, Justin didn't have to teach him anything.
He was there using it properly.
And then you see how kids are different. One needs you there one-to-one, full-time support, and the other one
is watch and learn.
Justin was watch and learn, and you know what? They're both on the spectrum, but then you see they all learn differently. So you just find whatever works for your children, and you do it. But then there is something else called group potty training. That one I saw it here in England for the first time. You know, there is this like mommy groups where they go for young babies to play, and when they go for these mommy groups, they would come there and do potty training with a group of kids, and let me tell you, it works. You know what? Watching and learning what the other kids are doing. When the big ones are going, they're not very big. They normally put them like 0 to 2, 2 to 3.
You know, when you say it, I can't imagine. There are a group of kids in here, and each of us has been brought with a potty.
No, you see that center where we take Jaden for karate? Didn't you notice their potties there?
I could not imagine that is what they are.
That is the purpose of those potties. It's for group potty training, which works. And then you see they have the short toilets so that the kids who can walk like Jupiter can go in there.
Do you think you disturbed your mommy when she was trying to teach you potty training?
Disturbed her where? You know, we used to live in a forest. And we didn't have to wear, you know, now kids, I don't know, they wear leggings, I don't know, many things. Us, we just had a shirt
on. In the village, we don't have these problems of potty training.
No, we don't have. So when you feel, you just go and the sun dries you out and you go and play with the other kids.
I can't remember anyone showing me, you know.
Nobody taught me. I don't remember anyone teaching my little brother. It was the same. We just had, I don't know about you guys, we just had like a big shirt on and nothing else.
That's the same.
Yeah, that was it. So there was no stress.
The kids of the 90s in the village.
Yeah, there was no stress about potty training back then. But then, hey, these are the times you live in. There is good toilets. We have to learn everything. We have to learn good hygiene as well. So we have no choice but to teach.
Well, that's good. If there's something I have learned from the story of Jaden and Justin, I think it is that persistence and then consistency. And also with these kids, they need a lot of encouragement. So you have to find ways of rewarding them and telling them you are doing good. And while we are all doing these things as parents, I think the idea of being frustrated is very normal.
It's very normal.
You are going to get mad, angry. Sometimes you feel as if you give the neighbor this kid, but you
can't. Out of your own house.
So you also have to teach yourself how to handle your own emotions. And like we said at the beginning, the journey of raising these kids is going to test your mental health. So you have to find ways of letting yourself have a clear mind. You have to find ways of making yourself a happy moment and very safe space for this kid.
That's so true.
Don't let your anger, emotions, frustrations, the desire to have quick results cloud what you are trying to achieve.
And that's what I've seen from my experience with many parents. They want really fast results. Most parents think, I will show them today and I want them by tomorrow to know this is how you do this, this is how you hold a pencil, this is how you go to the toilet. It doesn't work that way. You need so much patience. I was telling some parents the other day, some things which we've achieved with Jaden, it's taken us 3 years. And they're like, what do you mean 3 years? I'm like, I'm not even joking. I can give you, you know, as we document with pictures, pictures from 3 years ago when we started till today of our journey. So yeah, parents, you need a lot of patience, consistency, and know that kids don't learn the same. You might find a parent who will teach their kid to potty train today, and by tomorrow they grasp it. There's some of us who we have to be there for many, many months, which is still fine. Just enjoy the journey, you know.
Yeah, it is true. And just know that your child is a unique person.
Yeah.
They are a unique person, and they need to be understood and dignified the way they are.
It's so true.
They learn eventually, and they are going to surprise you. You know, the good thing with these kids is that while we'll struggle with these normal routine issues when they are about up to maybe, let's say, 5, 7 years old, after that, when they start picking things, my friend, even you as a parent, you are not going to keep pace.
Yeah, it's like with Jude, I always ask him, who taught you that, you know? Because let me just say this, you kind of miss a little bit doing some things for them because it gets better. This is what I'm going to tell parents out there. I will tell you, this is coming from a mom whose child was very, very like there was no hope. But let me tell you guys, it gets better. But you have to keep consistent. I'm seeing you parents out there, you're doing a really amazing job in the group. Oh my God.
Yeah, the WhatsApp group is really amazing. Yeah, do you have the final thoughts?
So guys, with potty training, just keep pushing. Moms, dads, you know, when you feel or when you notice your child is mentally ready, or even you yourself, just get on with it. Or you can even just decide to slowly introduce your child to it. I can see the people who are there with kids who are 2 years, just slowly, just so that they slowly understand until eventually when they are ready. Yeah, but do what works for your child. And hopefully what we've shared might help someone out there.
Yeah, it is true. And from me, as a dad, to you parents, do you and do you while being child-centered. At the end of the day, it's the child you want to do what you want them to do. So be child-centered. Focus on their little changes, those micro behaviors they are acquiring. And also be proud. You are doing a good job.
You're doing a good job. Completely. So guys, thank you so much for watching us. Remember, we have a WhatsApp group at The Beautiful Brains. We have a Facebook page with the same name, at The Beautiful Brains. We have YouTube, The Beautiful Brains. We are literally everywhere. And feel free to message us if you have any questions. I understand there's some parents who don't want to ask questions on the group. You can message us anytime, any day, and we'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you
and
so
bye-bye.
much. Bye.